right, that's the sound of another Malarkey Hour coming right at you, right at your faces. This is your host, Matt, and with me, as always, can't get rid of him. Been trying to. He sticks on me like glue. My co-host, John. How's it going, sir?
I want a raise.
Well, good luck getting paid, John, because that's not going to happen. Let's get started, John.
This is actually my community service. I just haven't told anyone.
How many hours do you have left?
I don't know. You're also my probation officer. So this feels a little weird.
It feels a little biased, right? It's like, wait a minute. Maybe you should keep yourself separate from the requirements. But no, I'm not John's probation officer. John doesn't have a probation officer anymore.
Woohoo.
Let's get this week's episode started, John. Halloween's coming up. Are you excited?
Yeah. No, I like Halloween.
Yeah, you were telling me the other day that you really enjoy Halloween. Like, really enjoy Halloween for various reasons.
Oh, yeah.
But which we won't get into tonight. Maybe someday. A different
Sure.
podcast.
Was this yesterday?
Yes, this was last night. Yeah,
Okay.
you're telling me.
Yeah.
So I thought, let's do a little scary segments, John.
Are you,
Am I what?
I don't know. What are you going to do? Are you gonna read your memoirs?
Memoirs? That's what's scary to you? If I'm going to do that? No, John.
You start reading your journal.
No. I actually don't have a journal.
These are my thoughts.
I keep all my thoughts inside of my head where they belong. You don't need those out.
I'm just writing down the voices I hear.
No, John. This week's first segment is a little segment I like to call Serial Killer Corner.
Oh, this one's always hilarious.
Oh, this one, John loves this segment because John gets a lot of excitement from the details that come from this segment. And of course, this segment is where we talk about a serial killer that is what is the right word to use that wouldn't be inappropriate, that is known in history.
Okay, I don't know that many.
Something really benign. You don't know that many?
Not really. I probably should have finished like season 2 of Mindhunter, and I probably
Well, that would have been enough for the research for this.
probably.
Yeah,
That's where I get all of my facts.
David Fincher. David
Yeah.
Fincher movies or series.
Just Netflix shows in general.
Well, John, hopefully you've heard about this week's serial killer that we're going to talk about. John, have you ever heard of a man named Edward Theodore Gein, or better known as Ed Gein? The butcher of Plainfield, the Plainfield Ghoul. You ever heard of him?
It's the guy they did the Texas Chainsaw. He was inspired, right? They inspired. Am I wrong?
He has inspired a lot of.
I said, am I wrong? You said yes.
Yeah, no, he has.
So when I'm saying wrong, the answer is no. Pay attention on your podcast.
This is awkward, John. Our first on-air fight where John got annoyed by not.
You can just go fuck yourself.
That's just joking. He inspired a lot of movies and TV shows and media, and he's not as well known as other serial killers. And I'm thinking maybe because a lot of his killings were early on in the 20th century.
One of my favorite though.
He's one of your favorites.
I don't know. I don't know.
That is a weird. I've heard people say that phrase.
I've heard. I've met a few girls that have. I've talked to. That are like tell me like they ask me who my favorite serial killer is.
That's such a weird phrase, right?
I'm like, okay, I've known you for an hour.
But he's one of John's favorites.
No, I don't know much about him.
You know, Ed Gein was known for a lot of things. And he inspired a lot of weird stories.
I heard he made really good birthday cakes.
Really good birthday cakes.
That was one of the things he was known for.
Is that what it was?
It got overshadowed.
Is that what it was?
I think so. Like he made really good birthday cakes. Like what's that show? Cake Wars.
He inspired Cake Wars.
I think that was. I think the inspiration behind.
I think you're right. I think he inspired Cake Wars.
But he did some other stuff which kind of overshadowed his cake work.
Yeah. So John, do you know what what type of cakes he made before he killed a couple of his victims?
No, I've seen
I've heard he was known for his tres leches cake.
tres leches.
Yes.
The 3 milk cake.
Yes, he was known. He was known for.
I think he just drank 3 glasses of milk
Before he killed the victims.
or after.
Or after.
I don't know what's weirder, before or after.
I would think after.
Because like you're celebrating with milk.
With milk, and it's like it's heavy, and then we all know like the majority of people
That's probably warm.
are lactose
It's probably
intolerant.
warm.
Yeah.
Probably likes it warm. Probably.
Yeah, it's warm, unlike his victim's body.
But he doesn't microwave. He just lets it sit like it's like room temp.
That's the worst, right? Room temperature milk.
Ooh, I don't even drink milk.
Yeah.
I used to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Ugh. Well, John, one of the crimes he did, I don't know if he drank his milk before or after he did this crime, but you want to hear about one of his crimes?
Yeah.
No? So we just give over completely.
Sure. Tell me.
All right, John. So on the morning of November 16th, 1957, a hardware store owner, Bernice Warden, disappeared.
She's fine.
You think that's where the story's going? Right? She was found like 2 days later. She just got lost.
Probably gonna.
Yeah.
What year?
1957. Actually, that's the year my mom was born.
Really?
1957. I'm aging my mom. She'd be really mad if she actually listened to this podcast. But we know she doesn't because she doesn't support anything her son does. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. No, I doubt she listens to it. This is about to
turn into a big therapy.
Right, yeah. Session. No, I doubt she listens to it, but that's not because she doesn't support me.
Yeah.
1957, yeah.
I don't think my mom's ever listened to it either.
No, I don't think either of her parents, yeah.
And I'm friends with my mom on Facebook, and I think she's just like, whatever.
Another weird thing you do, right?
Yeah, she's just like, yeah. And I'm one of those people where like I just share it with everyone. Now certain people are like, they're kind of more specific, like, oh, this is for my friends, not for my family. Yeah. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
You want everybody to listen to your
I'm about to offend everyone with this post.
Well, luckily you don't talk about anything that would disturb your family members on this podcast, John.
They know that I'm crazy.
Yeah, crazy like Ed Gein. So,
no, I drink my milk cold.
So let's get back to Bernice, John. She's been missing.
She's fine.
So, a Plainfield resident where Bernice was from, they reported the hardware store's truck had been driven out near the rear of the building at around 9:30 a.m. that day. So the hardware store was closed the entire day of November 16th, John. Some area residents believe that this was because of deer hunting season. So I guess that was big back up in Wisconsin in 1950. So they would just close shop. So Bernice's son, who was Deputy Sheriff Frank Warden, he entered the store around 5 p.m. that day, and he found the store's cash register open and blood stains on the floor, John. So do you still think Bernice is just doing okay?
Now I think she's stealing money.
You think she's stealing money?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He just found the cash register open. It didn't say money was missing.
I don't know.
You think it was like one of those Gone Girl situations where she faked her?
I would have called in and been like, I think we have a robbery.
Like Bernice did a Gone Girl, faked her kidnapping, and
Not a robbery. I'd just been like, I think someone's stealing. I don't like. There's I don't know. There's a bunch of blood in the way. I can't get to the money. It's all over the floor. So Bernice, I need to get that register. Yeah. See what's in there.
So Bernice's son, John, Frank, he told investigators that Ed Gein had been in the store the evening before his mother's disappearance, and that he would return the next morning for a gallon of antifreeze. No. Gallon of antifreeze. Okay. It's a hardware store. So a sales slip for a gallon of antifreeze was the last receipt written by Bernice on the morning she disappeared. So on the evening of the same day, Gein was arrested at a West Plainfield grocery store, and Washara, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, County Sheriff's Department, they searched the Gein farm. Do you want to guess what they found?
Milk.
A deputy for the Washara County Sheriff's Office discovered Warden's decapitated body in a shed on Gein's property. Poor Bernice. She didn't go out.
Was she okay?
No, she was decapitated. Yeah.
Oh.
Decapitated body. Hung upside down by her legs with a crossbar at her ankles and ropes at her wrists. The torso was dressed out like a deer. Have you ever seen a deer dressed out?
Yeah, it looks weird.
Yeah. She had been shot with a .22 caliber rifle, and the mutilations were made after her death. So, John, the authorities searched this house. Do you even want to guess what they found?
Well, I still want to know what she's stealing from the store.
I don't think they ever figured out the case of the missing $22.80.
Yeah, back then that was like $1 million.
It was like $1 million. No, John. So they searched Gein's house, and guess what they found? This is some of the things they found:
Go for it.
whole human bones. I'm sorry, and fragments. A wastebasket made of human skin.
Well, we've all been there, right?
Yeah. Human skin covering several chair seats, skulls on bedpost. This guy seems like he's like a heavy metal, like, right? Skulls on bedpost.
I think I know this guy.
Female skulls, some with the top sawn off. Bowls made from human skulls. So imagine eating your Kellogg's Frosted Flakes from a human bowl. Oh, you don't eat cereal, right?
With room temperature milk.
Ugh.
Nah, I don't eat cereal.
You don't eat cereal, so you don't have to worry about
I
that.
used to eat Cookie Crisps as a
Oh,
kid.
you used to? That was your favorite?
Just eat it just without milk, just like cookies. I think they changed it.
Did they?
I think they realized, hey, we can't be giving kids cookies for breakfast. I don't know.
It sounds like there's gonna be who made that joke, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was science.
It sounds too easy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like
It is. Yeah, it is cookies for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody has that joke.
Yeah. A corset made from a female torso, skinned from shoulders to waist. Leggings made from human leg skin. So he was doing Spanx with human skin, John.
Is that what you're gonna call it, Spanx? You think if he was still alive, he could sue?
Well, these were just leggings. I don't know if he had gotten into the hey, this will make you look slimmer.
Did you find all these weird patents? It's my intellectual property.
Masks made from the skin of female heads. Mary Hogan's face mask in a paper bag. Mary Hogan's skull in a box. I'll get
when
to
you say
Mary.
face mask, you don't mean like the kind you buy like at a Party
No,
City or
her-
a costume store.
A woman named Mary Hogan, her actual face. And her skull in a box. Bernice's entire head in a burlap sack. Bernice's heart in a plastic bag in front of Gein's potbelly stove. Do you know what a potbelly stove is?
Potbelly? No.
It was like this old fashioned stove that had like curved legs, and it looked like a little potbelly. You would say a potbelly pig, right? Like it's round, nice round, and then it had this little individual chimney for it. And you would open up the belly of it, and you put wood in there, and you would burn it, and you close it, and then the smoke would go up the shaft, and you're able to cook.
Is that like Hansel and Gretel times?
Yeah.
Okay, I pulled up a picture. I got it.
Yeah. 9 vulvas in a shoebox.
Okay.
Yeah. A young girl's dress and the vulvas of 2 females judged to have been about 15 years old. A belt made from female.
You ever driven a Volvo that's 15 years old?
I've never driven a Volvo.
Really?
I've never owned a Volvo.
Me neither.
I've never been in a Volvo.
I bought one and I sold it really fast.
Aren't they supposed to be super safe?
I don't know.
Unlike
maybe
Ed
like
Gein?
today. Yeah, unlike Ed Gein.
Yes.
Yeah.
A belt.
You know what's funny though?
Huh?
When you said Volvo, I promise you, I thought Volvo for a second ago. Why do you have all those cars? I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Like, and then it took me a second.
Especially in a shoebox.
Yeah, and I was like, but that doesn't make sense. Cars are bigger than that.
So
I'm
you
not.
started-
You know what's funny is like I'm not.
No,
Like I'm not even trying to make a joke.
You
Like
started
that's
thinking he was a wizard.
that's what my brain started thinking. I'm like, is this guy? Yeah, like is he
Yeah.
just? Can he just like do magic? I'm just like, all right. Like, this story's getting weird. I'm starting to doubt the facts.
You think I'm lying? It's like, you're making shit up. A belt made from female human nipples.
Okay.
4 noses. A pair of lips on a window shade drawstring. So he took for a window shade drawstring, and instead of, sometimes they have like a little weight on there so you can pull it.
Mm-hmm.
He had a pair of lips.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
This guy was like,
he might have been ahead of his time.
yeah, a little weird interior designer, right?
He just couldn't find his calling.
He also had a lampshade made from the skin of a human face.
Gross.
And fingernails from female fingers. A lot of female victims, John.
I mean, we all kind of like fingernails, right?
Yeah, but I don't think these fingernails were collected.
You know those parents that collect like weird shit, like
Their kids, like
their
hair clippings. And they're like their tooths from when the quote unquote tooth fairy takes it.
What's that?
By the way, kids, tooth fairy doesn't exist.
Oh, I think Al Madrigal has that joke. Remember?
What?
He's like he's been keeping his kid's teeth like for years.
Uh-huh.
Like, they found him. And he's like, what the fuck? Like there's something like it's just like,
Yeah.
like you're a serial killer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember the joke. but
Oh,
it's
I think I remember.
It's something funny like that. Like you have a bag of teeth.
Yeah,
like,
you're a serial killer.
Something like that. Like it's just like, why do you have a bag of teeth in your drawer? Like, this kid's already grown.
They're not mine. Wait.
Yeah, that's the best thing to say. Don't worry, they're
They're-
not mine.
They're yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, John, all these artifacts, they were photographed at the state crime laboratory and then destroyed. So when they questioned Gein, right?
Mhm.
They questioned him, and Gein told investigators that between 1947 and 1952, he made as many as 40 nocturnal visits to 3 local graveyards to exhume recently buried bodies while he was in a dazed-like state. He said on about 30 of those visits, he said he came out of the daze while in the cemetery, left the grave in good order. So he wasn't a messy guest.
Right.
And returned home empty-handed. So he said on other occasions he dug up the graves of recently buried middle-aged women he thought resembled his mother, and took the bodies home where he tanned their skins to make his paraphernalia. Paraphernalia.
Is that a different word?
Not the same thing.
Okay.
It's pronounced a little different.
You know why people get in trouble? I told you, right?
Get in trouble with what?
Because I guess, like, you can get in trouble if you have, like, drug paraphernalia.
Mm-hmm.
I've told you this before. It's like, you can't just have, like, you can't just have, like, one paraphernalia. Like, if you have a pair of them, you're in a lot more trouble.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pair.
If you got a
But if you have one you have one fernalia, you're good.
you might get off with a warning.
But if you have a pair
you have
of fernalia.
Exactly.
Ah.
Yeah. Don't carry 2 fernalias on you.
No, it's just one fernalia. One fernalia is fine. So Gein admitted to stealing from 9 graves from local cemetery, John,
Mhm.
and he led investigators to their locations. Alan Wilimowski, he was state crime laboratory. He was part of the state laboratory. I'm sorry. He participated in opening 3 test graves identified by Gein. The casts were inside wooden boxes. The top boards ran crossways, not lengthwise. The tops of the boxes were about 2 feet below the surface in sandy soil. So Gein had robbed the graves soon after the funerals while the graves were not completed. The test graves were exhumed because authorities were uncertain as to whether the slight Gein was capable of single-handedly digging up a grave during a single evening. They were found as Gein described. 2 of the exhumed graves were found empty. One had a crowbar in place of the body, and one casket was empty. One casket Gein had failed to open when he lost his pry bar, and most of the body was gone from the 3rd grave. But Gein had returned rings and some body parts, thus apparently corroborating his confession.
So he didn't lie about anything.
Apparently not. So, apparently soon after his mother's death...
You think that's enough? Like, oh, he's telling the truth. They'll let him go.
Yes, that's the happy ending.
Back then, maybe.
Yeah. Soon after his mother's death, apparently, Gein began to create a woman suit, quote unquote, so that he could, quote, become his mother, to literally crawl into her skin.
Do you feel like you have become your mother over the years?
In some ways. Have you ever felt like you've picked up some of your parents' characteristics?
More my father, but maybe.
You're like, all the shit that they would give you when you were little, you start, like, even if you don't have kids, like, you start, like, you're thinking the same way. You're like...
I think more my father than my mother, but yeah.
Yeah. It's weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I made a mask. Just joking. I love my mom.
Yes. And
That's
so did
why-
Gein, John.
But she doesn't love me, so she doesn't listen to this podcast.
Just make, you know what? Tell her tomorrow that she needs to listen to this week's podcast. Specifically this one. So Gein denied having sex with the bodies, John, that he exhumed.
That's the part he was ashamed of.
Yes, he's like, I just want to make things clear. I did not have sex with them. And he explained, John, that the reason he didn't have sex with them is that they, quote, they smelled too bad. So if these corpses had been a little bit better smelling, maybe he would have thought about putting his penis inside their body cavities.
Yeah, he's definitely, I guess he has standards.
Yes.
The man with standards.
He just wants to make the story completely clear in case it gets out. He didn't have sex with these bodies.
Nice.
So during the interrogation with Gein also admitted to the shooting death of Mary Hogan. This is the skull and the face mask that we mentioned earlier. A tavern owner missing since 1954, whose head was found in his house, but he later denied memory of details of her death.
All right. But I'm saying, like, he admitted it. He just said, I don't remember how or what.
Well, he said he didn't have memory of it. Yeah,
Oh,
yes,
so
yes. You know, I mean, he admitted to the shooting death, but he said he didn't really have memory of her death, like the details.
he shot?
Yes, he shot.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that how he is? Well, okay, so he dug up bodies and then he did kill people.
He killed 2 women.
How did he kill the cashier again?
He
I mean,
seemed like he... What did he do? I forgot. Sorry. Oh, he shot her too.
So I'm saying it was either like a gun or, hey, they're already dead.
Yeah, or he just stole body parts.
All right.
So apparently, a 16-year-old youth, John, whose parents were friends with Gein, and who attended ball games and movies with him. He must have been a fun chaperone, right? He reported...
He was a big Cubs fan.
Yes. This youth reported that Gein... Well, they were in Wisconsin, so what team do you think he'd be rooting for? Back in the 1950s?
Probably still a big Cubs fan.
I think Cubs fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he started doing it. He was just a really frustrated Cubs fan.
Dude, you'd be surprised how crazy people get after the Cubs until recently.
So a 16-year-old youth, he said that he reported that Gein kept shrunken heads in his house, which Gein had described as relics from the Philippines, sent by a cousin who has served on the islands during World War II. So upon investigation by the police, these were determined to be human facial skins, carefully peeled from corpses and used by Gein as masks. Gein was also considered a suspect in several other unsolved cases in Wisconsin, including the 1953 disappearance.
How many costume contests do you think he could have won?
Gein? Well, he could have just...
He nailed it.
Oh, man, he had so many options. It would have been like the Madonna of Halloween costumes. Just eat a new costume every night.
Nailed it. It would have pissed off Heidi Klum.
Oh, yeah.
Nailed it, Ed.
There's no way. Yeah.
Ed, you fucking did it again, Ed.
Did you see Heidi Klum's costume this year? I sent it to you.
You sent it to me. I don't get it.
It was really like lazy. Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Yeah.
She's still hot.
Yeah. So he was also a suspect, John, in the 1953 disappearance of Evelyn Hartley, a babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
During questioning, the Washoe County Sheriff, Art Shelley, he reportedly assaulted Gein by banging his head and face into a brick wall. As a result, Gein's initial confession was ruled inadmissible.
Okay, who did he do this to?
To Gein himself, the sheriff.
Ah, okay.
Uh-huh. So
that sheriff was a jerk, man.
yeah. So that
I
sheriff.
don't know if Gein deserved all that.
So, but you know what, John? That sheriff died of heart failure at age 43 in 1968 before Gein's trial. Many who knew Shelley said he was traumatized by the horror of Gein's crimes, and this, along with the fear of having to testify, especially about assaulting Gein, caused his death. One of his friends said he was a victim of Ed Gein as surely as if he had butchered him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how he died.
Yes.
The
sheriff.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So, John, the trial of Ed Gein. So, on November 21st, 1957, Gein was arraigned on one count of first-degree murder, where he pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia and found mentally incompetent. So, he was thus unfit for trial. So, he was sent to the Central State Hospital for the Criminally Insane.
Okay,
So now it's now known as the Dodge Correctional Institution.
Do you want to know where you confuse me, but I'm also not that smart sometimes.
What?
That's how he died. I'm talking about Ed.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was the sheriff.
And then I'm like, he's back? Like, seriously?
No. No, Gein died many decades later, John.
Yeah, I don't know how he died.
Yeah. We'll get to that later in a bit. So he was
he drowned in a pool of milk.
So, John, in 1968, doctors determined Gein was mentally able to confer with counsel and participate in his defense. This was 11 years later. The trial began on November 7th, 1968, and lasted 1 week. A psychiatrist testified that Gein had told him that he did not know whether the killing of Bernice Warden, which was the hardware store owner, was intentional or accidental. Gein had told him that while he examined a gun in Warden's store, the gun went off, killing her. Gein testified that after trying to load a bullet into the rifle, it discharged. He said he had not aimed the rifle at Warden and did not remember anything else that happened that morning.
At that point, again, my memory sucks, is that he hadn't done anything yet? That was his number one?
No, I remember there was still that the other lady, like a few years before then.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
the babysitter.
It's all good. All right.
So, at the request of the defense, Gein's trial was held without a jury, with Judge Robert Gomer presiding. So, Gein was found guilty by Gomer on November 14th of 1968. A second trial dealt with Gein's sanity. Excuse me. After testimony by doctors for the prosecution and defense, the judge ruled Gein not guilty by reason of insanity and ordered him committed to Central State Hospital for the Criminally Insane. Gein spent the rest of his life in a mental hospital. So first they
sent him to Arkham.
So they said he was guilty of those crimes, and then they wanted to determine whether he was going to go to prison or to the hospital. So they deemed him criminally. They deemed him insane, essentially. So
All right.
So the judge wrote, due to prohibitive costs, Gein was tried for only one murder, that of Mrs. Warden. He also admitted to killing Mary Hogan.
That was the cashier.
That Mary Hogan was the babysitter.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah. But he was only charged with the death of the hardware store owner.
That was
the one stealing money.
The one that was stealing cash. Yeah.
By the way,
that's a cold case right there.
Reopen
that.
The case of the missing $22.08.
Yeah. I think it was more like $24.
Okay. You're running it up.
I think I remember hearing it was about
$24.
Yeah.
So that's why you've heard of nothing else of this case except that.
Yeah. I was more intrigued. I was like, this lady was stealing.
If anything, if anybody takes anything from today's podcast, is that money's still missing, John.
She was a thief.
Still unsolved.
She was a thief. That's all you gotta take from it.
Unsolved.
Do you think she still has family that would be offended?
You know what? If she did, I thought we'd listen to this podcast.
Don't worry, in a few years, they'll come after us.
Okay, so John, so you're asking about his death. So Gein actually did die. He wasn't immortal. He did die at the Mendota Mental Health Institute. I'm sorry, due to respiratory failure secondary to lung cancer on July 26, 1984. He was 77 years old. So over the years, souvenir seekers chipped pieces from his gravestone at the Plainfield Cemetery until the stone itself was stolen in 2000. It was recovered in June 2011 near Seattle and was placed in a storage at the Washara County Sheriff's Department. The gravesite itself is now unmarked, but not unknown. Gein is interred between his parents and brother in the cemetery.
Oh, that's nice.
He's with his family, John. That's very nice, right?
Making mom proud.
He is making... What do you mean making mom proud?
I'm sure he made his mom proud, right?
You think so?
I don't know. Probably not.
Like I mean, what can she put up on the fridge to like good job, little Eddie.
Great cakes.
Great cakes.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot he's known for his
made
cakes.
the best cakes.
Yeah. So John, as we were talking about earlier, when I mentioned his name, you mentioned a few movies that were inspired by him, and you mentioned one named Psycho.
I didn't mention it, but I know it now.
Oh, okay. I thought you mentioned Psycho.
I mentioned Texas Chainsaw.
Oh, I'm
Massacre.
sorry. I feel like an idiot.
You should
now.
pay attention to this podcast sometimes.
Our second fight on this podcast.
God damn it.
Goddamn awkward. No, Psycho was another one, John.
That's why I'm quitting.
Psycho.
Next week,
quitting
it's going to
next
be
week.
somebody else.
You're putting your 2 weeks in now?
No, next week.
You're just quitting next week.
I'm actually quitting right now, but I'm going to be nice and finish this one.
So I guess this will be your last podcast. Everybody, next week you're gonna meet my new co-host Hector, who's been waiting in the wings, John, by the way, in case this were to happen. Hector's
earned it. Hector's earned it.
No, John. So Psycho.
Is Hector getting paid?
Or you find out, yes, he has like an actual good yearly wage.
He's gonna show me his paycheck. What?
He's like, I got a cut of the profits as well.
Yeah.
Profit sharing with Hector.
Yeah.
Hector was a better negotiator. That's why.
Shit.
No, there's no Hector, John. Don't worry. Hector's long gone.
Ed Gein's got him.
Yeah,
Ed
keep
Gein's
that
got him.
up. No, John. So
I wouldn't trust Hector. He drinks milk. Room temperature milk.
Is that what Hector does?
Yeah.
No, actually, one of the movies that was inspired by Ed Gein was a movie by Alfred Hitchcock named Psycho.
Never heard of it.
You've never heard of Psycho?
Yes, I have.
Okay, John. So the Psychos follows a man named Norman Bates. He's a caretaker at an isolated motel who struggles under his domineering mother. Right?
Okay. Right now, if you were to meet somebody like, what are you doing? You're like, I'm a caretaker. Wouldn't you just walk away right away?
Yes. Like who? Yeah. Caretakers seem to be
You're like, but wait, I have milk. And that's how he tries to get you back.
But what do you think that's scary to people when you hear those?
It's an old fashioned. It's like
it is, right?
It's like something in old horror movies and just weird. Yeah, I don't know. It just sounds weird. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you do?
So apparently the way it was inspired, John, did you know that the movie Psycho was actually an adaptation of a novel named Psycho?
Now I do.
So in 1959, American writer Robert Bloch wrote a novel named Psycho. And he was partially inspired by Ed Gein. While he didn't know completely all the of the specifics of the Gein case, he said he began writing with the notion that the man next door may be a monster unsuspected even in the gossip-ridden microcosm of small-town life.
Cool.
So this novel was published 2 years after Gein's crimes came into the public sphere, and there's a lot of always allusions, the whole mother thing in Psycho, and the fact that Gein was looking to make a woman's quote unquote woman's suit after his mother died.
Didn't you say he was looking for like faces that look like his mom? Or
I don't know about that, but
he's
trying to make a woman's suit though.
I thought you said he was looking like digging up graves, trying to find somebody that looks like his mom.
No, I think that's something that you projected onto that.
I don't know. I might have to listen to this back later, or at least that part. I wouldn't want to hear this shit.
I have to every week when I edit it.
Okay. What are
so
you cutting out?
Huh?
What are you cutting?
I'm not cutting out anything. I just had to go back and edit it. Like if I had to add stuff to it, and I have to re-listen to it.
All right.
I have to listen to you like twice a week on this. Yeah.
Lucky.
Yeah. The
luckiest guy ever.
The abuse I put myself through every day. I mean every week. No, so yeah, so that was part of that. And then another movie that you mentioned, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, was partially inspired by Ed Gein. Obviously, if you ever seen the movie,
Ryan Reynolds.
The Ryan Reynolds version. Was Ryan Reynolds in Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
I think he did the remake.
No, he did a remake of the Amityville Horror.
Oh,
yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, wrong remake.
Oh, it was the one with Jessica Biel. That was the
yes.
That was the remake of the.
You must feel like an idiot.
Yeah. That's the thing that's gonna make me sound dumb.
No, so yeah, they took some of the obviously some of the elements of the Ed Gein case. One of them being he's in human skin as a mask, as that's the main character in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
We've all been there, right?
Yes. And also Silence of the Lambs, John. Silence of the Lambs.
I didn't know that was one of them. I'm saying that was inspired by him.
Who? What? Which one? Silence of the Lambs?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you look at the whole side story of Buffalo Bill trying to build his woman's suit.
You're right. You're right. Buffalo Bill.
Actually, Buffalo Bill was inspired by a few serial killers. One of them being Ed Gein, and another one being Bundy, Ted Bundy. Because I don't know if you know a lot about the Ted Bundy case. You know that one scene where Buffalo Bill's.
Wait, that's not the same as Al Bundy.
No, they're cousins.
Okay.
No, that one scene in Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
Where Buffalo
Very
Bill.
obscure reference, guys.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns in a single game. Where Buffalo Bill's character in Silence of the Lambs, he's wearing a cask. A cast. I'm sorry. Excuse me. A cast on his arm, and he asked for help. Like that's actually one of the ways that Ted Bundy actually captured one of the girls that he killed.
I did not know any of that.
Yeah. So, but Ed Gein was another inspiration.
I learned something old every day.
Did you really? Is it really old if you learned it? Just learned it?
Yeah, it's just funny. It's just funnier to say that.
It's new to you, John.
The fucking 90s reruns. Do you remember they used to say that?
Yeah.
They would just show reruns.
Uh-huh.
For those of you who don't know, there used to be something called reruns. And they would do that shit. They would just show like a show, like they would air a shitty shit. It's something that they would get shows.
Yeah.
But they would, during the summer, they're all reruns, right?
Uh-huh.
And they're like, oh, if you haven't seen it, it's new to you.
Yeah.
And that's how they would market it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you're right.
It is.
I'm going to watch this new episode.
Because you've never seen it before.
Of Married with Children.
Because you've never seen it before.
Right.
With Al Bundy, cousin of Ted Bundy.
Mm-hmm.
Hawkeye 76.
You guys who don't know, Al Bundy was an amazing athlete. Check him out.
Yes. One of the greatest American athletes to ever live.
Yeah. Heisman? No. He didn't get that far. I think he's... Oh, man.
So that was Ed Gein, John. Very, very sick individual.
Yeah.
He was very, like, not very successful, if you think about it, from the serial killer perspective.
Sounds like he got a lot done.
I mean, he only killed 2 women.
You described that room, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the motherfucker was great at interior design, right? I mean...
Sure. Exactly.
So that is the story of Ed Gein, one of our.
We've all used an ear to pull with the curtains down. What is it?
Yeah.
What did he use?
For
An ear.
for the drawstring, yeah.
Yeah, for the string, for the blinds.
For the blinds, yes.
Yeah.
And as you can see here,
Don't use an ear for curtains. That's weird.
and as I'm glancing around your room, John, I see you too have a belt of nipples, just like he did.
Sure.
You too are inspired by Ed Gein, but those are fake nipples.
You know about
So-
a belt did you wear?
Huh?
How about a belt did you wear? Right?
Yeah.
I'm wearing it.
You're wearing it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so
That's why I know you're lying.
I guess
I'm wearing
I
that.
guess you have two because I see one over there in your closet.
Whatever.
So anyway, that was Ed Gein, John.
I have 4.
That was Ed Gein. Okay, so moving on.
It's a joke.
Moving on.
I have 2.
Moving on to our next story, next segment. Let's do a little transition, and let's keep this horror theme going, John. You know, this next segment,
You're making it quite horrifying. I'll tell you.
it's very scary. I hope everybody's scared. I am terrified.
Yeah.
This next segment, John.
We're gonna have to put this online.
Yes. Yes. This next segment, John, is called Presidential Seal of Approval.
I'm not gonna be good at this. Go ahead.
It is a brand new segment. We've never really done it. I've had it on my queue. But, you know, this segment is where we talk about world leaders or leaders in history. And I thought since, you know, it is we're so close to Halloween. We're a few days from Halloween. We'll talk about, from in the perspective of this segment, a little bit about the haunted history of not so much our leaders, but where the leaders of our country, where they live. So, John, where do all our U.S. presidents live?
In a state of delusion.
Yes.
Now,
What residence do they all occupy?
1600
Pennsylvania, the White House, John. And have you ever heard stories about the hauntings of the White House?
No, never.
You never heard it? Really?
Well, maybe I would say that it's not a stupid place to say if you believe in it.
If you believe in it, right?
Not
It's such an old
place to say
It's
that.
such an old house. It's been around since,
Yeah.
the dinosaurs. Like, they were built, like, it was built around when the dinosaurs
Is
died
that
off,
like?
right?
Yeah, that's like when Monica Lewinsky and the dress, the ectoplasm.
Yes.
Like that was some creepy
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
Stuff on
So,
the ectoplasm on her dress, and that only comes from like paranormal shit.
yes.
No other explanation.
No other explanation. So, John, this week with in this segment, Presidential Seal of Approval, I want to talk about some of the stories of hauntings at the White House.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them involving our former presidents themselves.
What?
So I'm going to tell you a little story about
Can that be my new thing?
What?
What?
Whatever catchphrase you want to try to start in with this podcast, you try it, John.
It's just gonna be until I get bored.
All right. So, John, on a night, some would say is a dark and stormy night in 1946, President Harry.
Did you look up the weather?
Yes, I did. And this particular night, it was extra dark and scary.
Stormy or scary?
Stormy. Well, stormy is scary.
Because you watch the weather and they're like, tonight 60% chance of scary.
Yes. That's 60% and 100% of dark, right?
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes they get it wrong, but usually
Yes. So on this particular night in 1946, John, President Harry S. Truman. Do you remember Harry S. Truman?
yeah.
We actually talked about him in one of our podcasts a few weeks ago. He went to bed at 9 p.m. and about 6 hours later, he heard it. You know what he heard?
Was it one of the bombs he dropped on Hiroshima or Nagasaki?
That was in 1945.
Okay. Continue.
He heard knock, 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 and not somebody saying knock, knock, knock.
I was about to say.
I already knew where your mind was going with it.
Yeah,
He heard knocking, John.
He's like, that's not how the joke goes.
He heard
There should only be 2 knocks, and then I say, "Who's there?"
He heard knocking, John. Loud knocking. The sound against his bedroom door, those knockings, they woke him up. And he wrote to his wife in a letter. His wife wasn't there with him. Or he has a weird way of communicating with his wife. He's not talking to her, and they talk through letters.
I mean,
But
he could have just texted her.
You know. So this letter's is actually archived in his presidential library and museum. This is what the letter said. I jumped up and put on my bathrobe. Opened the door and no one there, he wrote. Went out and looked up and down the hall. Looked in your room and Margie's. Still no one. Went back to bed after locking the doors, and there were footsteps in your room whose door I'd left open. Jumped and looked, and no one there! Exclamation point. The damned place is haunted, sure as shooting. Secret Service said not even a watchman was up here at that hour. You and Margie had better come back and protect me before some of these ghosts carry me off. So Truman was a little bit of a scaredy cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I believe you wrote it, but kind of sounds like it was...
He's full of shit, John. Are you saying our former president, Harry Truman?
No president ever.
Was full of shit.
No president ever.
Was full of shit.
Nah, that's a weird thing for him to write. He might have just been going crazy, but who knows?
So, John, there's been a lot of sightings throughout the years, and some of them are a little bit more popular than others. You probably heard of this one. This is probably the most famous one in the White House. Have you ever heard about Abraham Lincoln's ghost?
You talking about his, like, a ghost he saw, or him as a ghost?
No, him as a ghost.
No.
You never heard of that? It's actually probably one of the more popular ones. So apparently Abraham Lincoln has appeared, his ghost, to several people. He has appeared in the Lincoln bedroom, which is a place that a lot of guests can stay in if they're guests of the White House.
I heard of that, yeah.
And the yellow oval room.
Okay.
Okay. So he's appeared in the Lincoln room. I'm sorry, I was reading the other one. So there's been a few people who've actually seen him. So he's been seen in the Lincoln bedroom, yellow oval room. He's been seen by First Lady Grace Coolidge, wife of Calvin Coolidge. He was seen by the Prime Minister Winston Churchill, and Queen Wilhelmina. I can't pronounce her name. I'm sorry. Of the Netherlands. They all have claimed to have seen Lincoln.
John Wilkes Booth saw him.
He saw his ghost?
I don't know about that.
But he saw him.
I think they met.
Willie Lincoln, the son of Abraham Lincoln, he died in the White House, John. And he was seen in the White House by staff members of the Grant administration in the 1870s.
Okay.
Andrew Jackson.
Ulysses,
yes.
Who names their kid Ulysses?
Apparently people back then.
Yeah.
So apparently Andrew Jackson is heard. He's been heard laughing in the White House since the 1860s.
Nice. At least he had a sense of humor, right?
Yeah. Actually, Mary Todd Lincoln has claimed to have heard him stomping and swearing.
I don't know why it's funny.
Yeah.
Ghost just swearing.
Thomas Jefferson's been heard playing his violin in the yellow oval room.
It sounds like they're all just being obnoxious.
Dolly Madison.
You're laughing, stomping, swearing, playing fucking instruments.
Right. Dolly Madison, one of the former first ladies, she protects the Rose Garden, apparently. Her ghost is seen in the Rose Garden.
Cool.
John Tyler. Remember?
Hey, we don't have to hire anybody now, right?
Yeah, they could just... they don't need a gardener.
Was it Mary Todd?
Dolly Madison.
Oh, Mary Todd. I heard the other one. Yeah. Dolly Madison.
You remember John Tyler?
Yes.
Okay, so he haunts the Blue Room. Apparently he haunts it. He apparently haunted by proposing to his second wife, Julia Gardner. Apparently, he proposed to her in that room.
Sexy.
Sexy. Remember William Henry
Or romantic.
Remember William Henry Harrison?
Yep.
He haunts the attic. So he was actually the first president to die in the White House.
So you think they all just have their own thing? It's like, hey, this is
And
mine.
you're right. They're like protecting their
This is
turf.
my turf, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So Harrison actually was the first president.
I do the laughing.
Right? He gets mad at anybody else laughs.
Right.
Yeah.
I've heard your violin is shit.
So Harrison was the first president to die in the White House. So maybe that's a weird. If he was the first one to die, then he's the first ghost. That's weird. He picked the attic. Like he has first choice. He had any other. He has first choice. He could have haunted any room, and he chose the attic.
Whatever.
Abigail Adams, John. She hung laundry in the East Room, and staff can smell wet laundry and the scent of lavender in there from time to time. The East Room.
Well, that's nice.
So there's a guy named David Burns. He owned the land.
He owned the land.
Of where the White House currently sits. He used to own the land, and
Sounds like some valuable property.
Well, he used to own it, and he doesn't own it anymore.
I'm just saying. It sounds,
He is seen or heard in the yellow oval
You think
room.
they were grandfathered in, or you think he's like up in the lease?
It's eminent domain. They wrote on him, John.
Up in the lease.
And apparently, Anna Surratt, apparently her ghost bangs on the doors of the White House, pleading to see President Andrew Johnson. She was there to beg for a pardon for her mother, Lincoln assassination conspirator Mary Surratt. So her ghost is heard banging away at the doors of the White House.
She was part of that group?
Her mother was, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what? Okay, because there was like 7 people or something, right? I don't remember if I knew.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks it was John Wilkes Booth.
By himself?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
There's a lot of them, yes.
They also shot somebody else that night, too, wasn't it?
Yes, the chief of
Secretary of State? I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, because essentially they were trying to kill all the, if they killed the president who was next in line, they were trying to kill everybody that would.
They did shoot him, but he survived.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But. So
anyway.
So would you want to stay a night in the White House, John?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Even
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Even with all those.
We don't gonna pay for this music.
I mean,
I'll stop it right there.
You already have hard time sleeping. You think you can make it through Jackson's laughs?
I don't know. Probably not.
No, all right.
Earplugs.
Yeah. So John.
Earplugs and Ambien.
Yeah. So that's it for our White House ghost stories.
Cool.
The whole place probably is creepy though. It's such an old residence.
Yeah, even if you don't believe in ghosts,
probably is like weird. Like it's such a
just
historical
the fact
place.
to be like, hey, you want to stay in this room?
Yeah.
100 people died in it.
It's like sure. All right.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
Yeah. It's like sure.
I'd do it just curiosity.
You would?
Yeah, just to say it's like just dead in a room. 100 people died in it. I don't know why it's still here. I don't know why I paid.
Oh, to stay there? Yeah.
Still nicer than a lot of hotels.
Right, you would think there's a better hotel. Like, why would you want to stay there if there's a better hotel in Washington, D.C.?
It's like, remember when I had a birthday and I just asked for a haunted room at a hotel?
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
And it was the shittiest room.
Yeah, that's the worst room. Right?
The haunted rooms, and I'm putting haunted in quotes, like they'll give you a haunted room, like if it's available, because they just know which rooms, like, oh, this happened here, or like people report shit here.
Yeah.
But they're also the shittiest rooms. Nothing works.
Yeah.
Because they're so old.
Yeah.
And they're like, the plumbing sucks. The hot water's not even hot. So I'm like, yeah, this is going to be cool. I'm like, this is fucking terrible.
Yeah. No, it wasn't the best.
AC's not cooling.
Yeah.
So it
wasn't the best.
Sure, you can have one, sucker.
All right, John. So moving on to our last segment of the night. I I thought since Halloween's in a few nights, and you didn't wear your costume this week, John. I thought we were gonna all wear our costumes,
I wore one yesterday.
but it wasn't during the podcast, sir.
Yeah, because it's great visually for what we're doing right now.
So I figure since you didn't wear your costumes, we go over some costumes of some are our betters. I like to call them celebrities. Celebrities like to obviously celebrate Halloween just like us normies. And I thought we go over some of the more interesting costumes that celebrities have put together.
Cool.
So this first one, John, that you're looking at is, who do you think this is? The celebrity. Do you recognize her?
What year was this? Do you know?
This is a few years ago, probably.
No, I'm not like. I'm pretty good with actors and actresses, but I'm guessing she's a musician.
Do you know who Cardi B is?
Oh, it doesn't even look like her.
This is Cardi B dressed as Cruella de Vil from the 101 Dalmatians.
Okay.
A little bit the difference than most costumes of the villain from that kids movie.
It took me a minute.
cartoon.
I see it now, but it took me a minute to be like, is that Cruella de Vil costume?
Yeah. So the next one, John, I might have to enlarge it. Sorry, technical difficulties.
That's all good.
That is the name's right there.
I see cleavage.
Who do you think that is?
How long ago was this?
Oh, not that long ago. A few years ago.
Is that Lovato?
Yes, Demi Lovato. Her name's right there, but you probably only saw part of it. That's Demi Lovato. Who do you think she's dressed up as?
That's it. I don't know.
She's dressed up as Selena.
Oh man, that was my guess.
Yeah, that's Selena.
I was just surprised because it's kind of obscure to I don't know how big Selena was outside of South Texas.
Yeah. Well, I think Demi Lovato is from Texas.
Well, that makes more sense then.
Yeah. So who do you think these two people are?
Unless I'm an idiot.
Uh-huh.
It should be Michael. I don't know who they are. Hold on. Who's on the left?
Who do you think the costumes is first? Let's see.
It's Michael Jackson and Marilyn Monroe.
No, that is Michael Jackson and Madonna.
Oh, is that Madonna?
Yeah. Who are the celebrities dressed up as Michael Jackson and Madonna?
Dude, who is that on the left? Give me a clue.
They're very... Actually, I'll tell you, they're both women, the celebrities.
I know. Give me another clue.
No, I don't know if you can tell.
No, it's hard to tell.
They're both sisters, famous sisters.
The rich ones?
They're rich.
Parents own the football teams?
No.
Sisters. Give me a movie.
They're not known for any type of ability.
Oh, okay. So we're just gonna automatically say Kardashian.
Yeah. So that.
All right.
So there's Kim Kardashian as Madonna, and that's
Courtney. That's
Courtney as Michael Jackson. She's, obviously,
Yeah.
she's a little shorter than her sisters.
Yeah.
So, get this next one.
Where did you take that? I think I have that guy on Facebook. I don't know.
What do you think the costume is?
Is it I don't know. Is that a Teletubby?
That's a unicorn.
Okay.
See the horn right there. Who do you think the celebrity is? Who is the man underneath the unicorn?
Is that Shia LaBeouf?
No.
I don't know who that is.
That is Shannon Tatum.
Okay.
That's a unicorn.
All right.
That's a nice costume, right? Okay,
Sure.
Next one.
Okay.
Who do you think? What do you think the costume is?
It's supposed to be what's her name? Is it Christina Aguilera?
Yes, it's Christina Aguilera from her Dirty music video back. I don't know.
I remember it.
Yeah.
Dirty.
Some of the younger kids might not remember that
Remember
music
that
video.
SNL skit? It was funny.
Yeah. Who do you think that celebrity is?
Give me the first letter of her name.
K.
Damn it. Actor or musician?
She doesn't do anything.
Kardashian.
Yes. Not quite a Kardashian.
Jenner.
Yeah. Kylie Jenner.
Yeah, Kylie.
That's Kylie Jenner.
She's a
Yeah.
very successful
businesswoman?
Sure. We'll go with that.
Okay.
It's supposed to be Guy Fieri.
That is Guy Fieri, John. Correct. That's pretty hard to miss. Who do you think the celebrity underneath that costume is?
It's hard to tell. I don't know. Give me an actor, musician, what?
Model.
A model.
Yeah.
Male model.
No.
It's a female?
Yes, a female model.
Okay. Give me the first letter.
C. It's Chrissy Teigen.
Okay.
John Legend's.
Yeah. That looks. I couldn't even tell that was her.
This one you might not guess what the costume is.
Steve Jobs.
No.
It's a black. I saw a black turtleneck
Yeah.
and was like, lazy.
No,
Steve.
that's a hairdryer in her hair.
Just tell me.
So the costume is blowjobs.
Wow.
Yeah. And the celebrity underneath is Dakota Johnson.
But
The
you know what's
actress-
funny is
the
like
actress
I
Dakota
got it
Johnson.
half right
Why?
because it's Jobs.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, blowjobs. Yeah, you're right.
I like how you didn't even get the one you showed me
What do you mean?
because she's doing Steve Jobs with the dryer.
Yeah, but the costume is blowjobs.
I know, but I said Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
I should
No,
get.
actually, no. It is funny that you went straight to Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't notice the hair
I mean, I
dryer.
saw it.
Yeah,
I thought.
you just thought she was like doing.
I just thought I was like just doing something weird to Steve Jobs,
Yeah.
but I didn't know. I didn't get it was like a play on words bullshit.
yeah. Actually, most people
And
didn't.
who-
Actually, you know what's funny? Most people probably would think, "Oh, Steve Jobs," like, but they don't. They don't really
Yeah,
think it.
but who is it? I'm saying.
It's Dakota Johnson, the actress.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What's her name's daughter?
Yeah. She's trying to think of a movie, but yeah, I got you.
The 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, John. What do you think the costume is?
Is that two people? What is that?
It's two pictures. Part of two pictures. This is the main picture.
The one on the right?
Yeah. What do you think that costume is?
Dude, I don't. Just tell me.
That's a bun in the oven.
I'm guessing she was pregnant.
Yeah, she was pregnant at the time. That's Liv Tyler.
Give me a chance to guess.
That's Liv Tyler right there, John.
I think I would have gotten it with the zoom in, maybe.
Okay, I'm sorry. Next time I'll zoom in. Okay, next one, John. I think you're gonna like this next one. It made me laugh. Okay.
If I can get it.
Okay. This next one, John. What do you think? What do you think
man.
that costume is? What do you think that costume is?
Is that a penis? No, it's a Cheeto.
It's a Cheeto.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny, right?
Oh,
The
who
costume.
is
That's a
she?
pretty funny. It's they're carrying a little bag of Cheetos right there, or not? Well, actually, a big bag.
That's
of
not
Cheetos.
Katy Perry, is it?
That is Katy Perry. Yes.
Nailed it.
Boom. Yeah, that's a funny costume.
That's cool.
Yeah, I would wear. Actually, that's one of my more favorite costumes I've seen. Like, on
That's
this
pretty
list.
funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I thought it was like a penis that needed like to
Just-
go to the doctor.
She has a good sense of humor. She did date. Well, she was married to Russell Brand, so she has to have a good sense of humor.
I don't know.
What do you think this costume is?
Just
Of?
kidding. He's funny. I like Russell Brand.
Yeah, Russell Brand's pretty funny.
That's Dorothy and
Yeah, it was a Ross, Dorothy
Yeah.
and the Cowardly Lion.
yeah.
What celebrities? Can you recognize them? The kissing couple.
No, it's hard.
The kissing couple. Should I zoom in more on their faces?
Oh wait, hold on. Oh man, give me. I need a clue.
You probably saw him today.
Today.
Yeah.
Oh, is he? I don't think I did, but does he play baseball or football?
He plays football.
Man, I can't tell from there.
That is Giselle Bundchen. Is Dorothy.
Then
And Tom Brady. That's the Cowardly Lion.
Yeah, we'll say that. Yeah.
Okay, last one.
Patriots still cover the spread.
Okay.
They cover the spread all the time, every time.
Last one. This actually probably was my favorite one on this list.
I'm gonna give a disclaimer. Do not take my advice
Yes.
for gambling.
This
Know
last
that
one,
they
John.
cover the spread a lot.
Yes. This last one was my favorite one. This last one was my favorite one.
Who is that?
I know sometimes you don't like her, but I thought this costume was pretty funny.
I don't know. First of all, I don't know who it is.
You don't know what the costume is?
No.
That is Nicki Minaj costume.
Wait.
That's a Nicki Minaj.
She's
costume.
being Nicki Minaj.
She's being Nicki Minaj, as you can tell.
And you don't know I don't like her. Who is it?
That you don't know who the celebrity is? You can't recognize her?
No.
That's Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh. I like her. I like her stand-up. It's not bad. She's funny. But we'll leave it at that.
John doesn't like her dancing.
I don't know. It's just her dancing. It's
John hates that Ellen DeGeneres is so happy all the time.
No, it's just not for me. But yeah.
So that's it, John. That was fun.
Yeah, that was actually pretty hard.
You think so? Yeah. Yeah. You know, I didn't think it was gonna be.
Well, it's hard because you're already. It's hard already to like look at a celebrity and name them. Now they're in a fucking costume.
yeah, that is true.
Hey, you want to make it harder?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what she said.
So that's it, John. This is our Halloween episode. The end of our Halloween episode. Halloween's in a few days. Are you excited?
Very.
Do you have any Halloween plans that you want to share to the audience?
Nah, I might do something Thursday.
Thursday. Okay.
Yeah. Well, went out last night. I was a crayon.
Your crown last night. Yeah, I was with you.
And you went out as nothing.
I went out as Teen Wolf.
You had a Teen Wolf shirt on.
Yeah, that counts.
Sure.
Yeah. I should have entered.
Okay. You should have entered that costume contest.
Okay. I want you to describe to our audience the details of your crayon costume.
All right. It still counts though.
Okay. No. Describe it. Describe it to our audience.
It's a blue. Shirt.
It's a blue shirt. Okay.
It says Crayola on the side, like sideways, like a crayon. Like when you look at a crayon.
Yeah.
And then I got a blue pointy hat.
So
I mean, come on. How did I not beat Heidi Klum?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's true.
It's because she's hot.
Yeah,
that's why she won.
Hey, you want to tell? You want to tell? I don't know if you. It's up to you. You want to tell the funny story of that woman that you know that didn't recognize you in your Crayola?
That's fine. No, I met. Yeah, it's just.
You don't say her name.
That's fine. No, it's fine. I went out and I went to a thing before we went to a party, and all I'm wearing is a blue Crayola shirt and a pointy hat. She had no idea it was me. That's all I was gonna say. But it was funny. As soon as I took off the hat, it was like the Clark Kent,
Superman. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like I'm a master of disguise. It was funny though.
And it's funny that she just thought you're a nice man that was like talking to her.
It was
from time to time as she passed by you.
In fact, it happened multiple times.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
It happened a lot.
So are you gonna dress up as the Crayola again for Halloween?
Maybe because it's easy.
Yeah. Are you giving out candy?
No, I'm not a pedophile.
No, I'm just asking. You don't have to be a pedophile to give out candy, John.
I'm gonna give out milk.
Room temperature
milk.
Yeah. I think you wanna give the kids a healthier option.
Yeah, I mean it builds strong bones.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. So those are your Halloween plans.
Yeah, just milk.
Okay.
Nothing but milk.
All right. So with that, we leave you.
In fact, I'll bring them in and be like, "Hey, kids, got milk." There's nothing creepy about that, right?
With that, we leave you. I hope everybody out there listening has a happy Halloween and a safe Halloween.
Happy first, safe second.
What's that?
I said happy first, safe second.
Yeah, in that order. Would you want them to have a first? Yeah, okay. Or would you want to have them first safe and then have fun?
Keep a balance.
Keep a balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you know what? They're probably right when they say safety first.
Safety first. Huh?
I'm just a gambler.
You do happy first or fun first.
I gamble.
Yeah, fun first. Happy Halloween.
Can't believe the Patriots covered again.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody have a fun and safe Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Make sure that you don't take candy or milk from anybody that looks questionable. And we'll see you here in the exact same spots. We're not going to move next week.
All right, cool.
All right, bye.